Good afternoon, dear students. Welcome back to the recorded session again, where I prefer to have the reading comprehension assessment in order to practice how to read the text and how to answer the questions. I started with somehow easy text. The first one is the incredible machine. Let's read it together. Everyone had a favorite attraction at an amusement park, and I am no different. However, unlike most people who seem to prefer roller coasters, my favorite ride is a little more gentle. Every time I go to Coney Island, Navy Pier, or the Santa Monica Pier, I absolutely have to ride the Ferris wheel. This is the Ferris wheel. And the roller coaster, it's something like a snake. It goes up and down very fast. The Ferris wheel is simple and yet also quite complex. That's riding, it's easy, but how it works is complicated. A series of cards are attached to a wheel, which is attached to a rim, the thing. That rim rotates vertically around an axis, and gravity keeps the cards upright. As simple as the ride seems, only advanced engineers can make safe and fun Ferris wheels. What it lacks in thrills. Why the Ferris wheel is not as thriller as the roller coaster, it's still very exciting. The fact of being high in the air makes it so much more entertaining than a lot of rides. I mean, how often do you hang from a high up in daily life? Nevertheless, I have to admit, I don't seek Ferris wheels out because of their excitement. Rather, I find them very relaxing. At the top of the Ferris wheels, you get beautiful sights of the park. You also get a sense of calm that you don't get in the hustle and bustle of the park below. The hustle and bustle mean like the noises down there. Additionally, Ferris wheels are also gorgeous to look at when they are lit up at night. In fact, the original Ferris wheels was designed as much to be seen as to be ridden. It happened at the World's Fair. The first Ferris wheels was made by and named after George Washington Gale Ferris Jr. He designed it for the Chicago World's Fair in 1893. It was the tallest attraction there, standing 264 feet high. In 1893, anything that was not turned by hand was considered a sight to see. And the wheel, which was a machine, was truly incredible to see. Further, as one visitor put it, the wheel was amazing because it seemed to be missing support. That is, it did not look like it could stand on its own, and yet it did, and even rotated. They keep reaching higher and higher. Ferris wheel technology has only improved since then. Most of today's Ferris wheels are much larger than that first one. The largest in the world is in Singapore Flyer, which stands slightly taller than twice what Ferris did. Today, the Ferris wheel is the most common amusement park ride, but that does not mean you should take them for granted. Instead, be thankful for Ferris' invention. The next time you are at amusement park, don't just look up the impressive wheel in the sky on your way to newer attraction. Take it for a spin. If you are saying yes, take a try. Okay, let's go to the question part. Okay. As used in paragraph 1, the word attraction most nearly means sense, park, ride, or vision. Sense, park, ride, or vision. You have to, if you go up to the first paragraph, you'll find the word attraction is highlighted in yellow. He doesn't need you to give the meaning or the nearby meaning word of attraction, but he needs you within the context of this paragraph. Everyone has a favorite attraction at an amusement park. So the word attraction here, what does it mean? If you have no details in the paragraph, the author describes a person's favorite attraction as, he said yes here, as an amusement park. He or she said that that most prefer the roller coaster, but his or her favorite ride is the Ferris wheel. That's what he said here in the whole paragraph. This suggests that an attraction is a type of ride. So the choice C is correct. And if you have tried the other choices, the choice C here is correct. If you have tried the other choices, you'll find that it will not work. It will make no sense. The next question. It can be understood that Coney Island, Navy Pier, and the Santa Monica Pier are all examples of what? If you go back to the text, it's in the first paragraph. The author describes rides at amusement parks. He or she writes that his or her favorite ride is a little more gentle. Then the author said that he or she has to ride the Ferris wheels whenever he or she goes, like to Coney Island, the Navy Pier, or the Santa Monica Pier. So this suggests that each one of those are places of an amusement park. So the answer is amusement park. Of course, it's not names for ferry wheels, and it's not vacation spot, and not boat docks. It's the funny choice, really. The third question, as used in paragraph 2, which is the best antonym of complex? Which is the best antonym of complex? You know antonym, the opposite, of course. Complex, of course, you know that it's an adjective, and it means that involving many different or confusing parts. The antonym is a word that, as I told you, has the opposite meaning of another word. This question asks for the antonym of complex. The author said that Ferris wheels are both simple and yet also quite complex. Here he said, and yet also quite complex. Having this word yet give us an impression that the two terms are opposite to each other. The use of yet suggests that the terms being used are opposite. Because of that's why our choice D, which is simple, is the correct one. Because he has mentioned the two words or two terms in one sentence. Okay. Question 4. What did the author like best about Ferris wheels? What did he like best about Ferris wheel? The impressive engineering and beauty of them, the excitement and the thrill that they guarantee, the beautiful sights and relaxation they allow, or the fact that most amusement parks have one. The author explains what he or she likes best about Ferris wheels in the 4th paragraph. He or she writes, I find them, or here, starting from here. I find them very relaxing because, here it is, because of the beautiful sights of the park one gets at the top of the ride. The thing he or she likes best about Ferris wheels then is the beautiful sights and relaxation they allow. Not because it's because of their excitement. So the correct answer will be the beautiful sights and relaxation they allow. Okay, 5. According to the passage, the Ferris wheel was originally designed for what? Coney Island, the World's Fair, Disney World, or Singapore? Do you find the answer in paragraph 6? Here, when he said that, this one, the first Ferris wheels was made by named after George Washington Gale Ferris. That's why it takes the names of Ferris Jr. He designed it for Chicago World's Fair in 1893. So here the sixth paragraph, it happened at the World's Fair. The author writes about the first Ferris wheel. He or she states that George Washington Gatefirst Jr. designed it for the Chicago World's Fair in 1893. He didn't mention the Coney Island is a place where he go to find the Ferris wheel. And Disney World, he didn't mention it at all. Singapore, where the large or the tallest one is found. Number 6, this passage was most likely written to describe the author's favorite amusement park ride, explain the original design of Ferris wheels and how they work today, describe the history of Ferris wheels and why they are so popular, explain the history of Ferris wheel. Yes, actually it's explain the history of Ferris wheels and why the author liked them. Okay, that's it. We will move to the next one after a second. The second text, which is tools of persuasion. Of course, we have studied those tools before, but in this text we are going to study it in the same things, but the terms in Latin or the Greek one. Okay, let's read it. Tools of persuasion. Persuasion is the art of convincing someone to agree with your point of view. According to the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle, there are 3 basic tools of persuasion: ethos, pathos, and logos. You have learned this, the same tools, but this is their names in Greek or Latin. The ethos, which is mean the I write it here, just behind it. Okay, ethos are if you remember, we have studied 3 different appeals as ways of persuasion. Appeals to authority, appeals to emotion, and the appeals to reason or facts. The ethos is the appeal to authority. Appeals to appeal to authority. It means that you are referring to words said by a famous character or said in a famous article to support your claim in order to persuade your reader. And not only this, also when you share your experience with your audience, it's one of the ethos tools or appeal to authority. You are using yourself as if you were reliable character, a dependable character, trusted character. The second one is he said the pathos. Okay, the pathos is the appeals to emotion. If you remember, the appeals to emotion, you or the reader manipulate the reader's emotion or the listener's emotions in order to persuade them using emotional words or strong or charged language. The third one is logos, and this is the rest one. Of course, you can predict what is it? It's the appeals to facts or reasons, which is the logos. Logos is the appeal to facts and reason. Given facts, given data, real information to support your claim. So they are the same appeal that we have studied, but this is the Greek terms or the Latin terms. Okay, let's continue. The ethos is the speaker's way of convincing the audience that she is a credible source. An audience will consider a speaker credible if she seems trustworthy, reliable, and sincere. This can be done in many ways. For example, a speaker can develop ethos by explaining how much experience or education she has in the field. Now you are sharing your experience here. After all, you would be more likely to listen to advice about how to take care of your teeth from a dentist than a firefighter. A speaker can also create ethos by convincing the audience that He is a good person who has their best interest at heart. If an audience cannot trust you, you will not be able to persuade them. The pathos is a speaker's way of connecting with an audience's emotions. For example, a speaker who is trying to convince an audience to vote for him might say that he alone can save the country from a terrible war. He used here a strong word, which is war, in order to affect the people deeply and quickly. So these words are intended to fill the audience with fear, thus making them want to vote for him because he is the only one who will save them. Similarly, a charity organization that helps animals might show an audience pictures of injured dogs and cats. These images are intended to fill the viewers with pity, with passionate, to feel sympathy or empathy for those dogs. If the audience feels bad for the animals, they will be more likely to donate money. Logos, which is the last tools, is the use of facts, information, statistics. If you remember, the word statistics means facts in numbers or other evidence to make your argument more convincing. An audience will be more likely to believe you if you have data to back up your claims. For example, a commercial for soap might tell you that laboratory tests have shown that their soap kills all 7 million of the bacteria living on your hands right away. This piece of information might make you more likely to buy their brand of soap. Presenting this evidence is much more convincing than simply saying our soap is the best. Use of logos can also increase the speaker's ethos. Again, using the facts or the reasons will increase the speaker's ethos. The more facts a speaker includes in his argument, the more likely you are to think that he is educated and trustworthy, because you will expect that you are well learned, you were educated, so of course you must be trusted. So this will give us back to the tool which is ethos. Although ethos, pathos, and logos all have their strengths, they are often most effective when they are used together. Indeed, most speakers use a combination of ethos, pathos, and logos to persuade their audience. The next time you listen to a speech, watch a commercial, or listen to a friend try to convince you to lend him some money, be on the lookout for these ancient Greek tools of persuasion. Okay, as used in paragraph 2, what is the best antonym of credible? What is the best antonym of credible? If you go to the paragraph, you will find the word credible. We have to think about the meaning of the word credible first. Of course, the word credible, it's an adjective. The word credible is an adjective, and it means reliable, believable, trustworthy. In paragraph 2, the author says, ethos is a speaker's way of convincing the audience that she is a credible source. We can use the content clues or hints from known words or phrases around the unknown word to help us figure out what the word credible most nearly means. The author explained that in the first one here, he explained that if an audience cannot trust you, you will not be able to persuade them. So the words, also we have the word trustworthy, reliable, or dependable, and sincere are especially good clues about what credible means. Based on these quotation, we can see that credible person is person you can trust, because the question is asking for the antonym, so we are looking for the word that means the opposite of trustworthy or the opposite of reliable. So the best one, I think it will be dishonest. The second one, Amy is trying to convince her mother to buy her a pair of $200 shoes. She says, Mom, the shoes I have are really old and ugly. If I don't get these new shoes, everyone at school is going to laugh at me. I will be so embarrassed that I will want to die. What form of persuasion is Amy using here? Pathos, which is appeals to emotion, ethos appeals to authority, logos appeals to facts, or a combination of the three of them. In paragraph 3, the author explained that pathos is a speaker's way of connecting with an audience's emotions. The author then gives two examples: a candidate who uses fear to gain votes, and the charity that makes you feel pity to get money. The second example is similar to the situation in the quotation here. Amy wants new shoes. She tries to convince her mother by saying that if she doesn't get them, everyone will laugh at her. She claimed that she will be so embarrassed that she will want to die. Here Amy is attempting to make her mother feel pity for her. If her mother feels bad enough for her, she will buy her the new shoes. Amy is thus using pathos to try to convince her mother to buy the shoes. Therefore, the first choice A is the correct one. You will not find the other two pathos, and of course the last one is wrong because there is no combination of them. Question 3. According to the passage, logos can build the ethos because an audience is more easily convinced by facts and information than simple appeals to emotion like pity or fear, or an audience is more likely to trust a speaker who uses evidence to support his argument. A speaker who overuses pathos might make an audience too emotional. Audiences who are too frightened or too sad are unlikely to be persuaded. A speaker can use misleading or false information to make his argument seem more convincing. We said that when you use a lot of logos, facts, statics, reasons, this will make the reader think that you are well educated and that you have a lot of information. This means that they will depend, or they will see you as a reliable person, a dependable person, a trustworthy person, which is ethos. That's why we said logos lead to ethos. So in paragraph 4, the author also writes, use of logos can also increase a speaker's ethos. The more facts the speaker includes in his argument, the more likely you are to think that he is educated and trustworthy. In other words, an audience will more likely to trust the speaker that uses facts, information, or other evidence in his argument. Therefore, the answer is B. B is the correct one. Question 4. Gerst is running for mayor. It means that he wanted to get this position. He wanted to have the position of a mayor, like voting or election. He tells his audience, under our current mayor, the mayor who is now in position or in charge, there have been 15,000 new cases of unemployment. Unemployment means that they are not working. People who cannot work or do not find a work or a job. If he stays in office, who knows how many more people will lose their jobs? The number could go up even higher. When I was the COO of Magnetics, I helped to create over 1,000 new jobs. I can do the same thing for this city if you vote for me. Which form of persuasion is Gerst using here? Pathos, logos, or ethos? Pathos again appeals to emotion, logos appeals to facts, ethos appeals to emotion. We need to search for them all. If we look at here when he said, who knows how many people will lose their jobs? Yes, this is, he is using pathos, appeals to emotion. Also when he said, I can do the same thing, no, we have also, one second. Okay, when he said there have been 15,000 new cases of unemployment. This is facts or statistics which is facts and numbers. Also when he said, I helped to create over 1,000 new jobs, this is also statistics, facts. So now we have two. We have emotion, pathos, and we have here logos. When he said, when I was the CEO of Magtech, I helped to create. He is showing his experience, which we will consider is the ethos. So here we have the three of them, the three techniques or the three tools. So it's D. The answer is D, where there is a combination of the three of them. The last question, according to the passage, the most effective tool of persuasion. Ethos, because you cannot persuade an audience that does not trust you, or logos, because it can also be used to build ethos, or it is a combination of ethos, pathos, and logos, or pathos because human beings are most easily persuaded by emotion. Actually, of course, the answer is C. The answer is C. It's a combination of ethos. Okay, it's not working. Okay, let's skip it and do it again. A combination of ethos, pathos, and logos. This is the correct answer, because in the final paragraph you'll find that the author writes, although ethos, pathos, and logos all have their strength, they are often most effective when they are used together. Indeed, the speakers, you'll find it here, the last paragraph here. Then, indeed, most speakers use a combination of ethos, pathos, and logos to persuade their audience. Here, the author tells us that the three of them, they have their own advantage, and none of them is more useful than the other. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much, and please keep yourself safe. And I want to tell you that you are still missed. We are waiting for this pandemic to be released and to see you all together again in the school to give it back life, real life. Thank you very much, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.